Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to do some Christmas gifts. They're going to be fast and easy and very inexpensive. I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, every year I like to give some gifts to our local senior centers, our nursing homes, places where people don't get a lot of visitors. And what I do is during the year I buy frames and I put a piece of Christmas cardstock. You could also use Christmas gift wrap, and I put inside the frame. And then I go to the Dollar Tree and I get a bunch of different Dollar Tree ornaments and I glue them to the front. So I thought I would just walk you through a couple of them and show you how I do it. So first of all, you want to measure your frame, and my frame looks like it's a 5x7, but actually it's more like almost 6x8. So I cut my paper to size and then I just lay it inside, and then it had a piece of cardboard and one of these little mats. I'm putting those back inside because if somebody wants to use it for a frame later on, I want them to have everything that came with it so that they can use it. Then I just close it up, making sure if it has a pattern, if the paper has a pattern, you want to make sure it's going in the right direction when you stand it up. So mine has a nice little leg on the back to hold it, and mine does not have a pattern in this case. I learned something valuable the last time I did this with my girlfriend who lives in Pittsburgh. She works at an assisted living facility, and she had the ornaments in her car, and it got cold when they went into the car, then it got warm when it went into the facility, and I used hot glue. The hot glue did not hold when it went from one temperature to the other. So as I said, I learned a valuable lesson that way because they didn't, the ornaments didn't stick to the glass long term. So what I do now is I put globs of E6000 on the back. This is what's going to hold it in the long run. And then on top of the E6000, well, not on top of it, but in addition to it, a bit more, I take my hot glue gun and I put a little bit here and there, and this is going to make sure that right now it's going to stick quickly to the frame, so I don't have to hold it for a long time because the hot glue will set up quickly. Hopefully that made a lot of sense, or it didn't. And there you go. So then you want to make sure that this is going in the right direction as the leg on the back, and since I already checked it, but I'm going to check it again, you want to make sure that if your foot is facing down, that you need this to face up and down. So I'm going to lay this kind of as centered as I can get it. And then the other thing that's nice about the E6000 is it allows you a little bit of wiggle room with your hot glue, so that before you really push it in place, you have some time to make sure it's straight, which I think it is. And then if you, like this one, this little piece already came off of it. And so I've been going through my stash of beads and things, and if I feel like one of these needs a little bit of additional, we'll call it berries. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I think they're in the berry family. I just take a few off, and then the easiest way to do it is to take your pine needle thing, that's a technical term, kind of pull the pine needles up if you can, like that, and then put a little dab, and I mean little if you can do it. I can't. It always comes out a lot, of hot glue in there, and then lay your berries into that little dollop of glue. Try to make sure that you hold them in place with some tool. I'm pushing them into the glue now. My Tim Holtz scissors are easy to clean after you've played with something like this, so I recommend, if you have them, to use these because you can take all that glue off of them pretty easily. And that's how I add a little bit more color to mine and make it look a little bit more festive. So let me go on to the next one. This is a bigger frame, and I measured it already. It's a little bit under 8 by 10, And then I've got this, that's the biggest of my ornaments, and also from the Dollar Tree. Oh, I forgot to tell you one more thing. I always, before I start this process, I always take the glass out and I wash the glass on all of them, because the glass gets really gross underneath the cardboard. And I didn't clean this one yet, so you'll be able to see it. Oh, look, there's a little extra, the little girls that came with it. Look at how old this is, because those haircuts are clearly not in fashion anymore, nor are those dresses. So this frame has been around for quite some time, I'd say. So what I do is I take my glass cleaner and one of my clean bibs, and I spray the bib. If you don't know my bib story, I like to buy bibs, little baby bibs, as you know, that's what you're wondering, what kind of bibs is she talking about? She's too old to have a kid. Anyway, I take a bib, like, well, what I do is I go to garage sales and like Salvation Army, and I buy as many of these bibs as inexpensively as I can, especially the ones that have Velcro at the top. Those are the ones I like the best. And what I do with them is I hang them all from the arm of my craft chair. Then instead of using baby wipes, because those are really bad for the environment, I use these for all of my crafty messes. And then I just put them in my washing machine and wash them when I'm done, and that's how I save the environment, one baby wipe at a time. So now we've got our frame, or our ho-ho-ho in our frame, and I'll give you the paper packs that these came out of. I'm pretty sure ho-ho-ho came out of this paper pad. It's die cuts with a view. It's called Jolly Whimsy Stacked. It's from last year or the year before. I never go through whole packs of 12 by 12 paper for Christmas, and so I just keep using them year after year. I thought this one looked good with this deer because of its size, you know, the frame size, and because the gold in here brings out the ho ho ho, and the green, you know, I'm just going with that. So what we're going to do with this is I can see the spots that are touching on the wreath part are near the bottom. Here is a good spot. Looks like one spot that's touching, and by its head it looks like it's touching. I think I got my sleeve in it. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue just to ensure that it attaches and stays, and hopefully get this into a good spot and make sure it's centered. I hope it's centered. Best way to do it is to hold it straight up and look at it. I think it looks pretty good. And like I said, if there are glue strings from either the hot glue or the E6000, all you need to do is heat them once the glue is set, and then you'll be able to have it taken off. So this frame actually was a piece of artwork that came from the Dollar Tree. It had a design in it that I really liked the image, and I wanted to use it on a different project, so I used the actual picture that came in it, and then all I did was I put this piece of cardstock inside. And what I found after I went to all that trouble was I was going to make these little cars. After I rigged them, I was going to make them go across the frame this way. Unfortunately, after I got all excited about that idea, I realized it only has a hanger here because this hanger broke off, unfortunately. So I bought this set of 4 trucks from the Dollar Tree, and I took everything off of these 2, and then I just thought I'd show you real quickly how you take it off of this one, and there's a 4th one that I'm not using. And all I did was there's this wire has it's wrapped around itself maybe 3 times. It's not wrapped many times, and all I did was I just kind of twisted it like that, and then if you put a little bit of effort into the twisty part of it, or untwisting I guess, it comes out pretty fast, and all you have to do then is pull and you get the whole thing out. And I'm not going to use those. I thought about putting some kind of diamond or something in this hole, but I tried it with one of these. I'll show you kind of what it looked like. Kind of looked like that, and I didn't like it. So I decided, well, I'm not doing anything with that. And you have to glue these down with just the bottom of their, with the lower part of their wheels. You can't glue any other parts down. So what I'm going to try to do is center them and make sure each one has enough room to lay. Okay, I'm going to do this one first. I'm only going to put the E6000 on the very bottom of the tires. Like that. And then I probably need to put a little bit of hot glue. I don't even know if hot glue will even help me at this stage, so I think I'm going to try this one without the hot glue. Now you need the hot glue just to hold them, because otherwise you end up, the problem you have is that the E6000 doesn't really hold it until it's set. So that becomes problematic when you want to make sure that you've got 3 of these attached and you can't hold them all while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Kind of a drag. I'm really hoping this stays. So far it's not seemingly doing anything. Well, alright, well, we'll give that a whirl and hopefully it'll stay. And then E6000 on this one. Hot glue coming at you. And then you don't know if you've got hot glue attaching it or E6000, which one it is, because you need them both basically. Well, you need the E6000 ultimately to make sure it doesn't pop off of the glass. And again, I have a lot of strings. I'm not worried about those. I'll just heat those and take them off. They're not right in a row, but I kind of like them. I think they're kind of fun. I don't know what you guys think. You can always let me know in the comments if you go, oh, geez, Sadie, what were you thinking? So that's that one. And then I have one more that is even harder to attach, and I'll grab that and I'll be right back. So here's our last one that we're going to do, and I've already put the paper inside of it, and I thought I would use this. It's an ornament that I made a few years ago out of music paper, and if you want me to show you how to do this, it's really simple, and I actually tacked down the hanger because it has its own hanger. And what I thought I would do is I would put it on there, and then I have these Spellbinders Dear Santa. They're sets of 3D stickers, and there's this one that says Mary, and I thought it was cute, so we're gonna put that one. I could put it inside, but it's pretty thick, and I figured if I did, it would really smash. So you can see it's pretty three-dimensional. I figured if I put it inside, I would smash it down too much, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to put the Mary up here, and it has adhesive on it, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to move my, I think that'll do it, and I'm going to put some E6000 on the back. I could use my hot glue, but I want to use this in addition to it because it seems like this holds things better on glass, and the hot glue gun doesn't in the long run hold much on glass. So I'm going to put a few dollops of the E6000 on there, and then a few more of hot glue, because hot glue will make it instantly attached, as I said about 50 times in this video already. And then I'm just going to turn it around and lay it as close as I can to the center and try to make sure it's straight. looks pretty good. So that is the last of them, and what I'm going to do now is I'll get you the pile and I'll show you them one by one. So in case there's any that you didn't get to see, I did include a diamond painting that I'm going to give to these lovely folks. And sometimes you can't find things for men specifically, and this diamond painting is more man inspired. I know that sounds odd, but it's true. I just finished this one. I took that same truck and I took this diagonally striped paper. Those little pieces were on another piece of cardstock, so I cut those out and I just glued them to the diagonal paper, and then I put this one tag sideways because I knew I was going to glue the truck to it, and that's that one. Then I bought this at a garage sale. I thought it was adorable and I thought it would work really good to give as a gift for this. It looks really, you know, fun and Christmassy. So that's those three. I think I showed you the Santa already, but I'll show you him again. And there are two of those, and they're identical, so I don't think I need to show you the other one. If I didn't already say this, all of the ornaments, other than the one I made, the Christmas tree that I showed you out of paper, other than that, all of the things that are glued to the front of these frames are from the Dollar Tree, including this that I already showed you, this deer. And the frames, I don't know if I mentioned that, but most of those came from garage sales. This one came from the Dollar Tree with a picture in it, and I already told you I took the picture out, but this was the second one. I had two of those ones that had a picture that I pulled the picture out and used for a different project. And then the Noel came from the Dollar Tree, and all I did is added these two little bells and a few more of the little berries to give it a little bit more dimension. I thought it was cute. I know I showed you this one, but I want to recap them all. So there's the one that has the trucks, and then last but not least is my diamond painting, and I'll probably have to zoom back for this. So here's my diamond painting. I made this a few weeks ago, and I don't remember where I got it, but I'll make sure I figure that out and put it below the video so you know. I loved it. The two little owls I thought were just so cute. It's not a very big diamond painting, and I'll give you the measurements of the finished piece. Finished, it's 9 1/4 inches by about 7 1/2 inches tall. And I found this frame also, wait for it, with this picture in it, and the back of this picture has a really nice matte finish to it that was just like an off-white. And so all we did was flipped it over so that the matte border is all around these edges, and I think it looks really pretty. Well, Rich did all that because I couldn't get, there were 1,000 of those little staples, the industrial staples in there, and I couldn't get any of them out, so Rich had to pull all of those out, and he basically put it back together. But my friend works in the activities department of an assisted living facility, and all of these are going to go to the people that live there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.